Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Yola Rogers.
And my name is Ola Dolukwa. Bid you a warm welcome to the bar this afternoon. It's a very, very interesting day today at the bar, There are a few things that happens back and forth, we talk about. If you're just joining us for the very first time, thank you for being here. We have a few things to talk about today. It's basically a bar, it's drinks and plenty of gist right here at the bar. So, sit back, relax. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. There's politics, of course, the usual back and forth with politicians, most especially these days. A lot of, don't let me say the very popular ones, after we've had that conversation if about two political parties, there's a bit of back and forth from them. There's also talks about another political party that has to do with something else completely. We will definitely get to that. Also, we will talk about the Ogun State Speaker. There's a lot of, there's an update on that as well. It's interesting that somebody is sitting Speaker of a House. It's very interesting that there's nothing you will not see in Nigeria, yeah?
Tell me about it.
And he's been granted bail. Interesting, yeah? Interesting times that we're in. So, yes, we're going to be talking about that. I don't know if it is going to make me sound like a bad person if I'm kind of happy that some people met that Waterloo, but this one's definitely did. So we're going to be talking about that. There's an update on ASU. There's a lot of back and forth. We know that this ASU strike, everybody, or don't let me say everybody, most people, let me be very truthful with myself. I'm sure it's not everybody that wants ASU strike to end anyway, but there's an update on that. We hope that those things moves quickly. Just to put it out there, I think the Polish president is in Nigeria. Also, there's a lot of talks about the EFCC. The EFCC is also in the news a lot. So yeah, that and a few other things are what we're going to be talking about between now and 4 p.m. So sit back, relax. As you're watching, get your drink and let us, take you on a journey, on a ride through the world of Boom Bar.
That's what it is. So let's just dive right into it.
So yeah, I think that we should start from the speaker, as it's an update. We spoke about this yesterday.
That's the Speaker of the Ogun State
Speaker
House of Assembly.
Of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Olakunle Oluomo, who has now, after being arraigned by the EFCC, arraigned in court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over about an alleged 2.47 billion naira money laundering charges. He has now been granted bail. He to the sum of about 300 million naira with two shorties in like sum.
All right, because that is the story that broke last week. If you're just hearing about it, the Speaker Oluomo, not that Oluomo that not the other Oluomo in Lagos. This is the Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, member of the ruling party, the APC. Whom I had the pleasure of interviewing sometime last year, and it seemed like a jolly good fellow. We spoke,
jolly good fellow.
And he said a whole lot. We actually carried it live here on our, I think it was on our social media then, and all of that. But interesting that this has happened. But again, now he's been granted bail, and the fact that someone in the legislative arm of government is being charged with money laundering and all sorts of crimes is heartbreaking for me. and I keep saying again and again, how is it that there's a system that allows someone to appropriate such funds without executive powers? You know,
that's why it's a crime. Because there are no laws like that, I guess that's why it's a crime. Anyway, it's very interesting. Yeah, I know that a lot of people were trying to be careful and err on the side of caution, where like a lot of people were talking about EFCC inviting him and not arresting him. But my question is, if someone is not arrested and detained, please, do they grant bail to people that are free?
I think they moved on from that part.
No, that's what I'm saying. Just wanted to clear that part. So meaning that he was not just arrested, he was detained though.
The truth is that,
all right, let's know.
It's really past that stage of if he was arrested or invited, or in fact it was something that I played up to poke fun at the fact that he had been invited several times and he did not go. Now on his
and especially
way out
for something
of the country,
that is
on his way at the airport, he gets picked up. You know,
it's very it's very embarrassing, really. A whole Speaker of a House. I honestly think that if the members of the House need to do something about it, of course, they can't stop him from being a representative of his constituency. But I think it is embarrassing for the Ogun State House of Assembly and for the Ogun State people that the Speaker has something as huge as this hanging over their head. I think that it is enough grounds to impeach the Speaker, really.
In an ideal world, you know, once you are in this kind of quagmire, the ideal thing for the Speaker to even do is to
step down. Yeah.
You know, like step down and say, let me face these charges. When I'm done with it, I'll come back to you guys to prove that I am innocent. You know? So, again, I've gone past the stage of, people don't resign when they have this kind of issues. We're past that stage.
We're past that stage.
Kemi Adeosun, also incidentally from the same
Ogun State,
when her name was being smeared, and of course there was issue of some alleged forgery or whatever of NYC documents, and all. She pulled out. She basically pulled out. Just yesterday, a commissioner in Lagos resigned.
He resigned.
And again, the governor immediately accepted. Now, the governor was probably on his way back from Atlanta. Because we all know now that he attended the Eddies,
Yeah, he did.
And smart guy, not only did the governor of Lagos attend the Eddies, he also had meetings with the mayor of ATL.
Yeah, smart.
And apparently there's an existing relationship
with them,
between both
parties.
And so from the look of things, it's a smart move if you look at it that way. So, commissioner resigned. And again, about that commissioner in Lagos that resigned, my feeling is they told him, guy, we will sack you now.
Yeah, I think that he thought that he knew something was going to happen.
Soft landing. Yeah. Said, my view.
Yeah, so it's very interesting though. Right now, but the thing is, I know that you can resign from being a speaker, but can you actually resign like from your elective post as well? Like easily, you just say you're not doing anymore.
Anybody can resign from anything. You can be like, I do not want to represent you people anymore.
Okay, true. You just say I'm not doing it.
Is it a do or die?
True, very, very, very true. We definitely will come back with those stories. Also, I know that his counsel was telling the judge that they need to be a little more lenient with him. The stakes are actually a little steep because now, also other than the 300 million naira, he's also supposed to provide 2 shorties in like sum, and then one of these shorties is supposed to be not less than a level 16 civil servant with also landed property in the court's jurisdiction. Now, my question is, where do you want to find? I'm not saying there isn't. How feasible is it for you to find a civil servant, a state civil servant that has that much money, and if it comes out, it will not be questioned?
I don't think it's a civil servant that's going to provide the money. It's the documents that they need from the civil servant.
That's what I'm saying.
And again, bail is not about paying the money.
No. It's not about the paying the money. It's the fact that wouldn't it be funny if a civil servant has that amount of money?
No, they stated that the civil servant has to provide that amount.
Not provide. He has to have it in he has to have it in his account. That's the question I'm trying to say.
I'm not sure that's right. I'm not sure.
Isn't that the point of bail? It's not a matter of pay the money now. It's a matter of show us evidence that you have it.
Can you read that part again?
Yeah, I'm trying to open it up again. That's where my issue comes from. Like, wouldn't it be funny if that actually comes up? Like, it's a very, very dicey thing. I don't know why it's not opening anymore. But anyways,
I don't think that they need to provide the funds. I don't think that a civil servant needs to prove that he has that kind of money, because they know you don't. Bail is usually about documentation and shorties and guarantees.
That's what I'm saying. The issue of a guarantee is the point that you're supposed to. They're hoping that it's not that you provide the money, but you should have it. Isn't that the point?
I'm not sure anybody's going to ask a civil servant to provide that type of money. No judge in Nigeria would ask a civil servant. I don't want us to dwell on this because we have so many stories to go about, and since this thing is not coming.
Okay, so it says that one of the shorties must not be less than in granting the bail to the Speaker, the Justice held that one of the shorties must not be less than level 16 officer in the civil servant, while the other, must possess landed property within jurisdiction. But also, he says that he's granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira with two shorties in like sum.
That has nothing to do with civil servants. That's the area I want us to clear.
No. So it now says that out of those two shorties, one of that is supposed to have this money in like sum must be a level 16 officer.
Only one. The other one can be a business.
Oh yes, that one that I'm talking about.
Which one?
That's one that has to be a level 16 officer that
They're not asking him for money.
They are.
No, they're not.
It says they're asking for bail in the sum of 300 million naira with two shorties in like sum.
Two shorties in like sum, not necessarily the level 16 officer.
Okay, sorry. Then it now goes on that
we're not lawyers. Let's leave
no wait. It now says one of these two shorties must not be less than a level 16 officer. One of the two that is supposed to have 300 million naira.
I get what you're saying. You're correct. Can we just move on to another story?
Anyway, moving on from that, and let's move on to something that move on to a little bit of politics. This is very interesting because it seems to be a lot of back and forth with this particular set of people, and this is the spokespersons or spokespeople of the APC and the PDP. This is between Festsus Keyamo of the APC and Bwala of the PDP. Now, this drama started from the PDP, where it was said, well, it wasn't even said, he actually said it, which he even came out to provide receipts, to be honest with you. He had come out to accuse the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festsus Keyamo, that in 2002, he had dragged the Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu to court over alleged certificate forgery. He, on the interview that he had, he cited a law report that is Festsus versus House of Assembly, Lagos State. So, basically, he was talking about how, as far back as 2002, the person that is spokesperson for Bola Tinubu's campaign now actually sued him. Yeah? Very interesting take, which I think that is good for all this. Now, Festsus Keyamo has now come out to say that people need to understand English. Kind of. According to him, it says that what he did was he sued in fact, he said it was according to him, he said, I never sued Bola Tinubu. No, I sued the House of Assembly seeking an interpretation of the law. So he said, according to him, and he said that once the Supreme Court pronounced on the issue, it became a binding thing, and even the lawyer who loses is bound to obey and defend the judgment in court. So what he's saying was that he never sued Bola Tinubu, and that it was the House of Assembly on the matter of his certificate.
Okay, so this is my response to Festsus keyami.
Mm-hmm.
You did not sue Bola Tinubu. You sued the Lagos State House of Assembly, but it was about and the reason
government.
why you didn't sue Bola Tinubu is because you have a very good lawyer.
Oh yeah,
and you know that he has immunity. You cannot sue him, so that's why you. So it was not as if Tinubu was not your target.
Yeah, I think it's actually just a play on words.
And it is smart that, of course, you can retort and say, hey, no, I didn't sue him. The truth is, it was about Tinubu's certificate anyway. So Tinubu was still your target. So for me, Festsus keyami is a smart person.
I agree with you.
It has wiggle room. There's wiggle room to say, nah, this suit Tinubu. Okay, if I was him, I would say I sued him.
Then
I did,
and now there's clarity on it.
In fact, I wanted to sue him. I couldn't sue him, but I knew I could sue the assembly, and I did. And the Supreme Court made a pronouncement, and I have moved on from that.
It's 2002, yeah.
And now I work closely with him. I believe in him. Do you understand?
Yeah. There are actually ways to. You don't even need. I think that I get what your point. Like, all this with your chest. Yeah. That okay, I did it at this point,
when I did it, I was fighting for the people. I wanted clarity.
Yeah.
And I got it.
Yeah, and I got it.
The Supreme Court made a pronouncement.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Very, very interesting. Very interesting take on that, though. Is also there's still a lot of talk with the back and forth from these parties, as the APC also has something to say again. They're talking about how they have they're kind of I don't want to call it advice. The APC is attacking the national chairman of the PDP. They're saying that they're mocking him that he's unable to bear the responsibility of his comments against the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. Basically, they're saying that the chairman of the party is really scattering the party.
Well, it's political season.
Yeah.
It's election season, and politics will take the front burner. Politicians will politificate. In case that's not a word,
of course it's not.
They should think about it that I created it. They will politificate. It's a way of pontificating. That you mix it up with politics. It's politificate. The politification. Leave that, Shola.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say so.
Of course, the comic relief was required. They are tapping into the discord in the PDP, and the PDP would tap into the discord in the APC or any other party. It's politics. Again, Wike seems to be like their man, even if he has refused to leave the PDP. So them backing Wiki against his party chairman, because he's still Wiki's party chairman, whether he likes it or not, is like the story that we've heard, how there's this alliance, or there's going to be an alliance. You get, so it's looking like, okay, what everybody's saying out there on the street is true about some members of the PDP working against the PDP for the APC, you know. So in that wise and in that context, attacking the chairman of the PDP is a fair game.
Okay.
Like they say, all is fair in
love and war. Yeah, I honestly feel that it's almost not their business.
But it is their business. It is politics.
How is it your, like, whatever happens? Okay. Wait, hold on. I know that.
Did you notice the part where the PDP weighed in on a Muslim ticket?
Yes, which is the same thing that I said business? Too. It was not their business. It's the same thing that I will say again. I don't think it is APC's business. Same way what I said the other time too, that if you feel that a Muslim ticket was not good, then it should be to your advantage. You should be rejoicing and find ways. It's the same way if the APC feels that the discord or the issues that is happening in the PDP.
And quickly speaking about that,
yeah,
the Christian Association of Nigeria, I think they are the fourth force or the third force, because they sound like a political party. This is Shola Roja saying it. Yes, I said it. They have come out again to say no. They are still standing on their ground that they do not support the Muslim ticket of the APC. Are you card-carrying members of the APC?
I don't understand.
Last time I checked, you guys were a wing of the PDP.
Really. You just had to say that. You just had to go there. Anyway, finally, I'm just saying is that the APC should mind their business. The PDP should mind their business. Let everybody do whatever it is they like.
That's my own finally is APC's business is PDP's business.
No.
PDP's business is Labour Party's business.
No.
Labour Party's business is
No.
Everybody will mind everybody's business.
No.
That is politics.
Anyway.
We're talking politics now, not governance.
Anyway, still talking politics, yeah. But Peter Obi support group has now written to the Independent National Electoral Commission seeking to relocate polling units close to the APC presidential candidate's residence in Lagos. There's actually like a paper written letter signed by its lawyers, Emeka Kalu Esquire and Ephraim Shihio, seeking that that INEC needs to relocate.
What is the reason for this?
They're basically saying that a lot of people might be induced, and also there's a lot of people that might not want to vote.
They might be intimidated.
Yes, they might be intimidated and threatened.
Okay. I agree with them. I agree with this group.
Okay.
They want polling units that are close to the APC flag bearer's house on Bodilon, Ikoyi, to be relocated somewhere else. I totally agree with them.
Yeah.
And in agreeing with them, all the polling units close to Peter Obi's house in Anambra,
Lagos.
All the polling units close to Atiku's house in Adamawa, all the polling units close to Shore's house in Ondo, all the polling units close to Kwankwaso's house
in Kano should all be moved.
I agree with this.
It's you know, I remember.
Agree with them.
I remember there was a conversation. This was just a passing thing, but when I saw this story, I remembered. I think it was Osun State election where I think Lasun Yusuf, where he was just talking. I watched an interview where he was talking about how there is a polling unit in his family compound, and that was where he was going to vote. And true to type, he actually won that polling unit. I remember very, very, very vividly. That different people like that. I remember that I think the former President Obasanjo's house, there is a polling unit in front of his house.
I have covered the elections. I covered the presidential elections, I think about 7 years ago or so. Then I think I covered it for CTFM, and I was designated to cover Jimmy Agbaje and Fashola. So look at me transversing Surulere and Apapa through Ikorodu Road, Oshodi, Apapa Express and all of that. Jimmy Agbaje strolled to the polling unit now. Do you understand?
Yeah, in fact,
Fashola,
to be
on his own part also, even if the thing was not on his street, also strolled to the
I think the
unit.
point of polling units, let's be honest ourselves, because at least in Nigeria, as we know, I don't know if it's not going to obtain in 2023, but in Nigeria, as we know, there are curfews. So the point of polling units is you're actually supposed to walk to your polling unit. It should actually be close to where you reside.
Not like me. I had to walk 6 kilometers.
It's not
and
like
I checked last night. I checked on the INEC website, and my polling unit is still that.
It's still that side. That's what I'm saying. Yours is a peculiar one because no. What I mean by peculiar one is that it's not like there's no polling unit close to your house. Yours is just not there. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe. So basically,
I agree with this group.
That's why I don't agree with the idea.
I agree. But it's not just Tinubu that
polling units should be close to where is the closest place to where you live. That's the point of polling unit.
Let it even be in the law now. Everybody that's contesting election, they should go and vote in the next village. You understand? You go a distance, so that you cannot influence. The truth is, I think they are groping at straws. If you didn't get my sarcasm, then you will never get it. I think they are groping at straws because how many votes are you getting from that particular polling unit that would tilt an election in the favor of the person whose polling unit is close to his house? That is not how to go about it. What you should work on is your monitoring system that makes sure that even if there's inducement or oppression, it is covered and used either in the court of law or in the court of public justice or public opinion. However, several calls by you to INEC might be too late because they are
it's probably too late right now.
Before now.
I
really don't see how this.
See that's why what other thing
you thought I was speaking. It's sarcasm.
I was going to talk about too that it even if that was possible, it's a tad bit too late, and it's not just Labour Party. And the honest truth is that when we're talking about at times when people have structures and all these things, on a normal day you should have had people involved that do these things for you. So maybe you should have been talking about issue of polling units a year before now. Now, when the honest truth is that INEC is probably in their busiest set of months now, they don't even. I'm sure that what they have on ground now, they probably don't even have enough time already. They're not going to sit down and be moving for polling units, and one polling unit is a tad bit too late.
But what is good for the goose is good.
It's good for the gander. If we're going to do it for one person, then we should do it for everybody. And the honest truth is that it cannot work.
Moving on.
So let's move on quickly from that. Also, still talking about Peter Obi. It's interesting where there are now mixed reactions that have trailed a trending tweet by an American who, interesting, cannot even vote. Jeffrey Gutterman, who is supposed to be a staunch supporter of Peter Obi, seeking for $10,000 to deal with his financial problems.
In a bid to garner support, politicians will grope at straws, and every endorsement is an endorsement, regardless of who it's coming from.
Yeah.
But I think Peter Obi needs to be more careful about all the people that are jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, you need support, but you don't need everybody's support.
The guy,
Gutterman, had actually been fingered by someone earlier as some fraudulent person when he started his Peter Obi campaign. He's an American. What's his interest? And he put it on his head. Now you are seeing the groundswell of support
on social media, and
that
then
Peter Obi has on social media. You cannot. It's incontrovertible.
Yeah.
You cannot argue with that. He has a massive supportership and followership on social media and other places. But we're talking social media now. So as it stands, the guy cashed in on that wave, and now he's now trying to cash in properly. Why would he be using Peter Obi's name to raise money? If you like his tweets, that should give you go fund me. Go fund you what for what?
What are they funding
Go
you?
fund you what? Because you are Oyibo and you are tweeting. What's that got to do with anything?
Like, what does that have to do with? When I saw that story, my first thought was that, okay, was he raising funds for Peter Obi?
No, for himself.
Elections. And I'm like, okay, so to what end, really?
Peter Obi, if I'm Peter Obi right now, I'm going to speak and say, Mr. Gotterman, we know they give she.
Because the honest truth is,
you know that thing that he says. Let it say it to Gotterman too.
You need to say it to him, because this is not looking very good. It's not looking very good.
So
basically, to me, when I see this, it means that this person was looking for a lot of followers and all that, so that he would because the honest truth is that what is his interest? Number one, he's not going to vote. He's not. There's nothing we can do about it.
The guy in a job, man.
So he's just looking for a quick buck. But anyway, as of today, now they said that 8 people have given him about $150. So good luck. He might get it. He might actually get it. There's nothing there's nothing that's impossible. Before we leave, I was going to say something that I think that there's something Peter Obi himself or Labour Party needs to address quickly, or specifically maybe Peter Obi. And it is a video, I don't know if you saw that video, of some terrorists, because they're not even unknown gunmen, they're terrorists that were attacking a Labour Party office.
Yeah.
A Labour Party gathering, and I saw
that video with you.
that shot at the car and all that. And I'm like, that the former governors, it is time that something needs to be done, and needs to be done fast. What is the guarantee? And I'm sure that is probably a bit of concern with a lot of people, that what is the guarantee that if an Igbo president an Igbo man becomes president, what's the guarantee that this is going to stop, or it's not even going to spread to other parts of the country?
I'm not sure that it has to do with if an Igbo president emerges, or Yoruba president, or Hausa president. I think it's just basically a problem with insurgents and insecurity, and it requires full-on attack.
Yeah, I still think that a lot of people need to speak more on this.
But the thing is, I like what you said, because that attack happened almost 24 hours ago, and there's no official statement from the party that was attacked.
Attacked, yes.
And these are the issues. Like, if you situate it in another part of Nigeria, another party, same party would have said something.
Yeah.
So there is a problem, and it needs to be solved. And it can't be solved by only the government of the day. Also, state actors in this should weigh in. But this particular one, I'm not going to mention Peter Obi's name, is the Labour Party, because the property that was attacked is not Peter Obi's property. It was a Labour Party meeting and property. No, seriously, because I'm not.
No, I get it.
If something happened,
why is that?
No, wait. If something happened to an APC meeting in Badagry, we won't be saying that Tinubu should go and look at what happened in Badagry. Do you understand what I'm saying? APC that let me make my point.
Okay.
The APC that owns the building, or rented the building, or was gifted the building where the meeting was taking place, and gunmen came through and they were shooting into they were shooting at the car, at close range. They were chasing people, and they've done a whole lot of.
They made a videos look like they were very,
And at that point, the two people you're going to be calling on, law enforcement and the government as one. Then the party that it concerns, that till now, the Labour Party has not said anything about it.
Why I called Peter Obi on this matter is because I don't know, maybe somebody needs to point me to it, is the fact that I'm not sure that I have seen him really going on condemning a lot of things that happens in the southeast. This their sit at home, this their unknown gunmen, and do you understand? You know all this drama started with Fulani headsmen. Now it's obvious that it is just a southeast thing all by themselves. Yeah, this our sit at home, this a lot of things. I think that it is high time that, yes, some people might call it, if he does that, is scoring cheap political points, maybe, but even if it is high time he cannot continue to keep quiet and this happens right in his area. That's where I'm going from. Like, he needs to actually come out and say something. I think it will get to a point, it will begin to look like he's condoning it. I don't know though. Okay.
No, I'm done. I it's not like it's an argument or anything. I just feel again that you have valid points about him being quiet about certain things. But I was responding to a specific event that happened yesterday. Even the event is poorly reported. You check online for it, and it's maybe just 2 or 3.
Yeah, and it's very interesting
in
how.
Fact, I think I can only see it on Premium Times and TVC News.
It's interesting how and the honest truth is that if this kind of thing happened in this, oh God, you'll be trending by now.
People were attacked. Do you get? And it was a Labour Party meeting that was attacked. So how does that instill confidence? In fact, you're supposed to come out to tell your supporters, that they should stay calm.
Exactly. So how do you expect people that you're expecting massive block votes from? There's going to be major voter apathy in that area. So I think that the Labour Party and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, they need to do something and need to do something fast. Quickly, let's move on from politics and move on to something interesting, where I had said earlier that it's sounding interesting. I don't know if I will call it good news. It sounds like good news to me, but anyway, if anybody does not like it, good luck to them. It's the news where it is said that over 100 bodies have been recovered from a river where they drowned. And guess who these people are? They're supposed to be Boko Haram insurgents and terrorists who have drowned while fleeing from ground and aerial attacks from the Nigerian troops and security forces. It is said that the air support attacked several villages on the fringes of Sambisa Forest, where there's a major stronghold of Boko Haram outside the town of Bama. And this made the Boko Haram fighters move in an effort to escape, plunged into the Yezaram River, which was overflowing with heavy rains, and then they drowned. A senior military officer had said that more than 100 terrorists were killed, most of them by drowning when they tried to cross the seething river.
Now, that's amazing news. Coming out of Nigeria, and it's strange how the media is not playing it.
Yeah.
I've
seen
when
this
there was
in
an
only
attack in Abuja and the presidential guards were involved, and we actually lost about 1 or 2 soldiers. Everybody was on about that news. There have been several attacks by these terrorists, and everybody's on about it. But now that the military is on the offensive, and they're gaining grounds, they're doing very well. Shout out to the Nigerian military for putting everything on the line for us and making things happen the way they are happening, and they're getting results. The Super Tucanos and all the other fighter jets and the helicopters and everything, they are being deployed fully. Operation Adinkai, Operation, this and that. They are actually going full-fledged now. They are on the offensive.
Oh, they're majorly on the offensive.
And
major.
the results are coming.
The results are coming. Like you said,
we are supposed to celebrate this news because people need to understand that what's happening in Nigeria is not unique to Nigeria.
It's not unique to Nigeria
the
alone.
Entire Central Africa and West Africa axis is plagued by this security issues.
Yeah, it's
and our men are actually doing very well.
They're doing amazing. They're doing amazing.
And the civilian joint
task force. Yes, they're doing amazing. I hope that, like you said, Nigerian media. I've seen this story in 3 different places, and not one. They're all foreign media that have carried this story. I hope that something is being done at the moment. Okay, talking about arrests, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is in the news, as yesterday it is said that they arrested a particular Sunday Adepoju, who is supposed to be the owner of a popular club in Ibadan, the Rock Club, and he was arrested with 21 other persons over alleged internet-related fraud. It's very interesting, where the names of a lot of them were. One set of people that caught my eye were a couple who they're normally known as Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde, fashioned after the real Bonnie.
Aladenusi Ayodeji and Aladenusi Shadiat. And my question to these people is that, do you really know the story of Bonnie and Clyde?
They do.
Like, if you're called Bonnie and Clyde, y'all are thieves.
Are they denying it?
Okay.
Did someone come here to come and argue with you now? They didn't deny it now. They know who they are now. They yam what they yam. So this is it. Yeah. It looks like the proof is strong on the part of the EFCC. And usually they'll say until the case has been
your name alone. How do they say, okay, what's your, you say Bonnie and Clyde? Are you joking?
Maybe they didn't even call themselves Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay, I've seen it like 4 or 5 places.
I know.
They see the name and then the next thing is AKA Bonnie and Clyde. I'm like, what exactly are you people on to?
But whatever it is, you must recognize that a lot of people who are into fraudulent practices need to launder their money.
Yeah.
They need to clean their money. So they always look for cash-based businesses that they can use.
And there's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the owner of a club enters the bank tomorrow
and says, this is what money that I made yesterday.
We made 10 million yesterday. Are you going to argue with them? You don't understand.
I agree.
The ballers came through. They call them ballers, And you come through, you're buying expensive drinks and tables and stuff.
I think we should just really be careful at the end of the day.
So that's what it is. And crime doesn't pay. If you're in the business of robbing Peter to pay Paul, if you're in the business of stealing from people all in the name of trying to make a quick buck, your day will come. And we will never support crime. We don't care who you are, because you make the money for yourself and you start to flex, but you're spoiling our image. And when people like us go out, we bear the brunt of your actions. A lot of these guys don't even bother to travel anymore. It's you that wants to travel that
you have issues with it.
Everybody looks at you like, oh, you're Nigerian. Oh, you must be a fraudulent person. We're not all fraudulent. We acknowledge the fact that some of us are, or some of us are very innocent, hard-working, video daily making people, like seriously working the grind, trying to make, honest.
It's very, 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 very interesting. Still talking about arrest. There are a few stories coming from the police. Before we go to the one that is very interesting, there's a little bit of back and forth from that. Police have arrested a fake doctor who's said to be United Nations doctor at the Abuja National Hospital.
We have fake news. We even have fake rice. I saw a video of someone showing fake this and fake that. But man, fake doctor don't they plenty? Oh. Which one is fake doctor? In fact, most fake doctors, what they do is that they create their own. They start their own clinics. You sure you get, and they make money off it. But this guy passed himself.
I have a question.
You know,
Yeah.
and he made it to the national.
It takes
hospital.
It takes 6 years for you to be a doctor.
Or more.
Or more. Then you have to do at least house job for another year.
1 year.
Then before you like basically NYSC before you like you don't understand that kind of thing. And my question is, how, like, maybe because I graduated as a physiologist, yeah, you see the amount of work that is put into even dealing with animals, talk less of human beings. How do you now feel comfortable knowing that you're putting people's lives in danger?
They don't care. For someone who has gone to this extent, they don't care. Reminds me of the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. The movie is standing Catch Me If You Can. You know, and Catch Me If You Can is a typical like guy pats himself up as a pilot at some point. You know, he just imbibes these things and he ingests it and he brings it out and starts to act like he's the thing that he claims to be. A lot of these people, again, I look at them as if they have issues.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, why do you need to pretend to be a doctor?
To be something else that you're not.
And a lot of people have been patronizing this. I won't even call them a quack, because a quack is someone that knows small. But these fake doctors, and there's so many of them. He's not the only one.
It's a very very funny story. But anyway,
but shout out to the Nigerian police.
Shout out to Nigeria police that this was found. I hope that he has not killed somebody or maimed somebody in the process of his stupidity. But anyway, there's a little bit of back and forth with a particular celebrity, Paul Okoye, that's the half of P Square, who seems to have been having a run with the PRO of the Delta State police and the person of Bright Edafe. I know that this drama started last week where Paul Okoye was talking about where he had said, this was where he was reacting to Ice Prince's arrest, saying that he would consider any officer who tried to enter into his car as a criminal or a kidnapper. Then I know that you want to start that explanation from the beginning, but let me just finish. The Delta State Police Public PRO, who is also very popular on social media, had now replied. He had quoted that tweet and said, "Celebrities without sense."
No, that's
Then Paul Okoye came back and he didn't reply the tweet. He went to Instagram and said, "Laugh out loud, DSP. I blame us for fighting for a better life for you people. #NSARS. If to say una join us protest,
you people
una go make extra money, well paid. Buy better soap and body spray so that when una enter cars, it no go get counter smell. Una mates they use cars with AC and computer to get information. Una they stand under sun. I be suffer no dey tire. Una pray for a good and a new government to come and deliver you people. Una own done too much." Okay.
Okay. If you don't know the genesis, one of my favorite artists, Ice Prince Zamani, was arrested by the police for, by law, abducting a police officer because they had stopped him and they were going to arrest him and take him to the police station. So someone was going to ride with him, and of course he took off. Eventually he got arrested. I don't even know where the case is now, but I'm not sure they're going to let him off. It looks like the police, because the IG had already said the week before.
Yeah, there was a lot of
that they're really going to take these cases serious now, especially the cases of assault on policemen. Now, I do not like the idea of policemen getting into people's cars. I think it's wrong. So, that's Peter or Paul? Which one of them?
Paul.
Paul Okoye. Is Paul Okoye saying the right thing? I think he is. Don't get. I'm not done.
Okay.
Don't get into people's cars. In a similar situation, in a similar crime, we got pulled over by the police, somewhere, and they were going to impound the car for someone that was supposed to drive through a pole that drove to one side and everything. Do you know what they did? They called for a towing vehicle. They did not get into the car.
Okay.
Nigerian policemen and women, please stop entering people's cars. Worst case scenario, clap the car at that site until you guys can start towing vehicles. But getting into a car is you risking your lives. There are two things that I see policemen do at checkpoints that I cringe, and I'm worried for them. You physically throw yourself in front of a moving vehicle. What if the brake fails? What if the guy is not even crazy, but the brake fails? You will damage your own limbs. You're gonna get injured. That's one. Two, what if the guy is crazy? You don't sign now. Person where life don't tire. They jump in front of the car. You're gonna lose out. Two, getting into people's cars. This is not the first time a policeman is being abducted by someone. We have heard several stories.
Yeah.
If you go and search on social media, some people boldly come out to even say they did it.
They did it. Yeah.
One guy said he took someone from 3rd Million to redemption camp one time now. Do you understand? We've heard all these stories before. So it's time to reorientate the police to say, but if you need to arrest someone, arrest them. Let them ride in your own vehicle. Don't ride in their cars. He has to stop. But I completely disagree on the other part, because I've agreed with him on one part, with the way he has addressed them as you people. I think it's condescending, Do we have terrible policemen? Yes, we do. A lot of them are bad. If everybody has a story to tell, police brutality is a thing. A global thing, not just in Nigeria. But does it make it right? No, it doesn't. But the way you talk to them condescending, you can afford for them, and then the government is coming and all that. Yeah, let the government come. Let it happen the way you have said. But don't talk down at people. You're on top today. I don't wish you bad, but you know what's going to happen tomorrow. So the DSP on his own part was fighting for his people, but I think he was also overboard by saying celebrity without sense. That's a bit harsh. There's a way you can craft it.
I think
so
that
this is my own take on the whole matter, that in this part, this is where the police erred, and the part of Mr. Okoye, this is where he erred too.
I think that this shows an exact understanding of what happens between regular people and police officers. Why? Is because that, number one, the fact that this particular celebrity did not say anything to the fact that he had his fellow musician had broken the law. That's our problem. I'm not saying that the police is right, but he literally moved off the fact that somebody took a uniformed person, threatened he was going to throw him in the lagoon, abducted him, assaulted him. Come on. I think we need to do better.
I agree.
I think we need to do better. That's where we should draw the line. Look at it that they're just not policemen. They're human beings. Start it with. Then you now get angry, and then it's now obvious how you really feel, because you're now saying you people, like as if they're lesser than you.
That's why I said it's condescending.
No. So this, what this shows me is, if a policeman flags you down, the first thing, you're already on the defensive. You don't even want to agree or admit, not even agree now, admit that what this other person did was bad. It is okay to see. I think that as much as we need to err on the side of caution, that by the time this policeman takes you to the police station, it's something that you can take up officially. That what was he doing in my car? But then you do all that, and the only thing you pick out there is the fact that a policeman was in the car. You didn't pick out the fact that he was assaulted. You didn't pick out the fact that he was threatened, was going to be thrown in the lagoon. I'm sorry. we as regular citizens need to do better. On this one, I think I'm on the police side on this particular one, which doesn't happen a lot though. But anyway, also talking about the police, the officers of the River State Police Command have rescued 15 children from a child trafficking ring in Port Harcourt, state capital. This was made known today, where the command has also paraded a fake reverend sister. There's so many fake things these days. It's now fake people.
Fake reverend sister.
Who was believed to be at the center of this child trafficking ring in the state.
I want to commend the police for doing a great job. 15 children were rescued. Do you know the number of children that have been sold into slavery?
Yeah, through that.
Even maybe into the arms of people who would do unspeakable things.
Yeah.
Things that I cannot even afford to begin to fathom, or don't talk of even process, or don't talk of even talk about. So kudos to them. And now my favorite song is The Long Arms of the Law. Let it be fully used on these people. Let it serve as a deterrent to other people who are doing it now or intend to go into this illicit trade in other people's children, or even their own children. A child trafficking ring.
Yeah.
A child should be protected. There's a reason why you don't allow them to do anything until they are 18. The things that they do are the things that they can handle. But think about little kids being sold into slavery, being put in all sorts of dangerous situations solely because they are just little. And if this had happened to you, would you be where you are today?
Would you be where you are today? Yeah. Very.
So kudos once again to the Nigerian police.
The Nigerian police. Still talking about law enforcement. The story just broke where the Nigeria Customs have said to have intercepted 20 drums of calcium carbide smuggled into the country in Ogun State. They're saying that there were also 41 pieces of military camouflage bags that were also intercepted. The story is that why it's very interesting is because this calcium carbide is one of the major ingredients for improvised explosive devices.
And this was intercepted in Ogun State. Ogun State also shares a border, an international border with Benin Republic. Kudos to the men of the Nigerian Customs. And can they track these people,
where it's coming from,
so that they can know where it is even going also? So they will know the people behind the importation, so that we can maybe catch a bigger group of terrible
human beings in this matter.
And put them out of work.
Yeah, I agree with you. Finally, quickly before we go, the Minister of Education has said that he has been in an internal turmoil following the lingering strike by the ASU today. He said this after there was a closed-door meeting with vice chancellors and pro-chancellors of federal universities at the National Universities Commission. There's a lot of back and forth from that angle. According to him, he's talking about how the major issue that there is now is really the no work, no pay matter. And I think I kind of feel for the Ministry of Education also, because now, even if the Ministry of Education agrees to it, if the president doesn't sign off on it, and if the Ministry of Finance say that they're not paying any money, there's really nothing anybody can do about it now. But I hope that something is done about this quickly. I know you wanted to say, you're about to say something.
Yeah, shout out to the minister. Shout out especially to the vice chancellors and the chairman and all the people who came together for that meeting, hoping that they can talk.
Okay, we're kind of out of time, so
talk some sense into ASU. I just wanted to quickly talk about Champions League fixtures that are going down tonight. There's so many games. I think about 6 or so games, but the big games are PSG versus Juventus, which is going to be a massive one, and again Dinamo Zagreb versus Chelsea, and Sevilla versus Man City.
Yeah, so yeah, that's very nice. We'll definitely catch you up on that
Celtic
tomorrow.
versus Real Madrid too.
We'll definitely come back tomorrow to give you updates on that also. So on that note, thank you for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time.